In this particular section, I'm going to cover something interesting. I'm going to cover that I see a lot of people, they don't pay attention to, and that is liability. Liability is pretty much when things are supposed to be magical and things go wrong, and you find yourself in a situation where you wish you'd talk to your lawyer, you wish you'd talk to your accountant before you did things in a particular way. And the reason why I'm going to go there is you have to protect yourself. At the end of the day, no matter how much good you want to do, always realize there are a lot of very bad people out there that want to completely mess you up, or they don't even mean to mess you up. Things just go wrong. Maybe a couple comes in, they get in a fight, and they start tearing everything up in your apartment complex and light something up, and the whole place goes down in fire. God forbid. And maybe that the power bill goes off, and they leave the energy going off for days. It's supposed to come in on Wednesday. They come in on Wednesday. They forget to turn off the oven, and they run up the bill to $1,000 for the power. And all that is connected to your Social Security, which is what a lot of people do. A lot of people place amenities and bills under their personal Social Security, which is an unbelievable mistake. Any company you deal with has the ability to have you as a corporate client. They're not going to tell you that, but they will have you as a corporate client. All you need to do is make sure that you protect your liability by either getting an LLC, an S Corp, depending on the volume that you plan to do. And I prefer to go with LLCs, and I get a tax ID number, which is almost like a Social Security, but that this works for me. But it's connected to my Social Security, so this is a legal way to do it. And I'll call the power company, and I'll have them, come in and put in the power under my company. And it's a pass-through entity, but I prefer that you take some time and talk to a lawyer. You can go to LegalZoom, and it should be like really cheap to get. You can even see it, LegalZoom LLC, to get advice on how to do anything. And it's cheap, man. It's cheap. $149. You can hire lawyers for absolutely anything for really cheap. When you call your cable company, tell them you want a business account. You have a tax ID number for your business, and they'll try to steer you towards your Social Security. If you have one apartment, you can use your Social Security, but I prefer to protect myself. I take this as a business because I use, I'm paying things. I'm getting paid too. There's a section when you're registering for your apartment where you can use your tax ID for your company in Airbnb. So I prefer to use a LLC company that goes out and gets the electric bills, cable bills, lawyers, anything you're paying for, any small thing I'm paying for, comes from my liability account, comes from my it's done under my limited liability company through my tax ID connected to my business. So if anything comes up, you're not suing Nick or Sue or Alice or Charlie. You're suing Charlie LLC. Then it's easy if things go wrong and you're advising your lawyer advises you to probably file bankruptcy. It won't be you filing bankruptcy because things can go wrong. The other extra thing I believe to protecting yourself is make sure you have renter's insurance. Always make sure you have renter's insurance in your apartment complex. Talk to your agent and give him an idea of what's going on, and I'm sure by now they're very aware of it. And don't hesitate to get renter's insurance for your apartment. It seems noisy until you realize that it's needed, until things go wrong. It's very needed. Get condo insurance, home insurance, renters insurance. Get it. Make sure you have it. And when it's all said and done, at the end of the year, when you're doing your taxes, you also, take advantage of some of the pros, some of these extremely smart people that have come up with companies that you can take advantage of the tax structures that they have for you. So you're not doing everything under your own personal. Even Bill Clinton uses his personal LLC as a pass through for for payments. So hey, take it from Bill Clinton. Should have a disclaimer about that. He does not endorse my course. But I mean, there you go. The pass through is smart. Now, there's an extra part of it that people don't quite understand on how things work. You can actually use LLCs to go out and register for apartment complexes, condos, and when you're renting homes. Why would you do that? So that everything you're using is controlled under the company. So the money you're investing can come off as an expense at the end of the year. If I'm you, I want to have every single penny, every single effort that I'm putting in to be recognized when it's all said and done at the end of the year. I want to make sure that I have that happening. A lot of people just assume that I can just I can just do things by I can just be a cowboy. Take advantage. It's a lot of lobbying has gone into creating these vehicles to help you as a business owner, someone who's trying to make it in this extremely rough world, and to go out there and do a couple of things. And it gets cheaper and easier as we go on in life. Now, when it comes to LLCs, the only liability for having a limited liability company when you're applying in an apartment complex is the age is extremely important. Now, I'm going to go back a little bit. I'm going to use a limited liability company to apply for everything from the apartment complex to the water bill to the whatever. I'm going to use the limited liability company to apply for all that. But when you go to an apartment complex, what are they going to ask me? They're going to ask for my name of the company, tax ID, and then they'll ask for this magic number. It's called Dance and Bradstreet number. What is a DNB number? This is like your social security for your company, and it checks the credit of the company. So as we know with personal credit, the more aged your personal credit is, the better. So the next part of it is we probably want to get ourselves an aged company. I'm assuming you're thinking about getting 15, 20 apartments down the line. You want to make this a true business. You want to make as much money as possible. I'm going to go for an aged company. And these corporations are for sale. A lot of lawyers sell them. You can actually list on Craigslist and buy them. And you can check the credit of the company to make sure it doesn't have any debt. And it's aged. And this is what you'll use to apply for apartment complexes, to apply for all these sort of small things around. And there's a website where you can actually literally go out and buy aged LLCs. They have some for $1,000, $1,400. It's an actual business. It's a huge business behind the scenes. And people use this to go out and protect themselves, and a place where you can file expenses and you can prevent, you protect yourself and your family. Don't just be out there doing things haphazardly without thinking that things will go wrong. People will come in and burn chairs down, and that stuff will be connected to your personal name. Then you're spending 4, 5, 6, 7 years trying to clean things up, and it's not fair. It's not fair to you and your family. But let's say you say yourself, I don't want to spend $2,000 for a new LLC. I don't want to spend, that's a lot of money. So what you do is you come here to small business DNB number, and you get this. It's about $200, and they'll verify everything, and it goes together with your business. And most of the billing companies, power, cable, renters insurance, they report to the DNB company. This is a credibility company, and they'll report to the company, and there's something called a payback score, and down the line, 2-3 years down the line, you probably can go out and sell the same company for $3,000-$5,000. As you can see, there's an actual business here there's a company here for $10,000. My gosh. So the more value you build into it, the more valuable it becomes. People want to buy aged companies that have access so they can use them for credit services or something. But that's something that I don't want to get too much into it. But protect yourself, please. Get yourself a limited liability company. Get yourself a DNB number, Dance and Pricing number. It's about $200, and you can just see why you should get yourself a DUNS number. That's what is used for the business profile, and down the line you can list the business and sell it, LLC, and sell it to someone else, and they can pick it up because of the age. That's what people go for. So it's a triple threat. You're making money with Airbnb, you're protecting yourself, and you have a Dance and Bradstreet number. The older it becomes, the more valuable it becomes. And when it's all said and done, 3, 4, 5 years from now, we don't want to use it, you can turn around and sell the same protection you're going out for with history to someone else, and people will buy these things. If I'm you, I'd seriously take some time and talk to your lawyer, ask him, have some questions based on what I've told you, and your lawyer will come up with a very sort of structured approach. If you are going to go towards, sometimes you start with one company, with one apartment, and then tomorrow you want to do 2, 3, 4, 20 apartments, and all of a sudden you have a whole apartment complexes under your management and care. But for this section, that's how I prefer LLCs to protect myself. I get them DNB numbers to protect myself again, and to sort of take care of my investment over time. And I'll use the tax ID number from my limited liability company to apply for anything, any amenity I need, any bills, any whatever. The debit card I'll use for my bank account is going to be from the cable company, from the business. It's not going to be my personal business, because at the end of the year, when you're doing your taxes and they start checking they'll check for some of these things. And you can go to legalzoom.com. You can go to Biz Filings, I believe. I'll have that on a nice PDF on where you can go. And that's how you just do things in sort of a professional manner. Do things in a way that when you present them to people, you don't place yourself in trouble, and you're taking advantage of everything that's going on. So hopefully, if you have any questions about this, I'm not a legal professional, but I'll give you a sort of layman's advice on kind of how to go about it. Lawyers are cheap these days. I mean, you list on Craigslist, you have like 1,000 lawyers who talk to you for an hour for $50 and tell you exactly what to do. And you have LLC.com, and you can take care of your business, and people will give you a guide on how to go about it. I prefer an LLC. I'll take the tax ID number from irs.gov. You can get a tax ID number from IRS, and it's called an EIN number. I'm pretty sure you've heard about that. And you apply online. It takes a couple of seconds, and you should have it I probably calling is you'll be on the phone for a little bit. There's a lot of demand for it, but that's the way I prefer to protect myself. Even with all the protection that's out there, you can never have enough protection, you know. But that's it. It's something a lot of people don't quite think about, but I probably would go that route. You don't have to go that route. You can have just it on your personal social security, but at the same time, remember, it's a business. You have expenses. You have lots of expenses. So why would you place yourself in a position where at the end of the year you're paying 30-40% because it's tied into your regular income? So take some time and think about it. Talk to your accountant, talk to your lawyer, and sort of figure out the best way to do it. A simple LLC will cost you probably $100, give or take. A tax ID is 20 minutes online, and then you can use the number to go out and get the bills, and all these things will be under your company's name. All right. Thank you.